Hey YouTube, I'm making another video. This one's based off of basically blow-off valves and bypass valves and how to inspect them, and also what to look for when you're purchasing a used one. This one right here, I bought it off of someone off of Craigslist, and it just so happens to be that I gotta order parts for it even after he said, it only had a couple thousand miles on it or whatnot. But each particular blow-off valve and bypass valve is different in the sense of how they're gonna, mate to the turbo or to the pipes, wherever it's gonna be mounted. And this one's from a 2015 GTI, so it comes with the bypass valve or blow-off valve or whatnot. It comes with a harness that connects to this solenoid, which controls the vacuum on the bypass valve, and it comes with some hoses as well as a bracket that's missing, which I already knew, and the bracket went to this piece right here, so it's no big deal. I can just secure it on a separate way. But I mean, just pay attention to what you're buying. One of the things you really want to look at is if it's really truly brand new, you're going to make sure that these O-rings don't have any wear or tear on them. If they're broken, you have to replace them, and that might cost money. Also, check the threads on the bypass valve if it opens and it has the spring accessibility. Like for instance, this one is made to have interchangeable springs, so it unscrews, as you can see the threads in there, and the spring comes out. Well, this spring has a certain tensile strength to it, and it tells the bypass valve or blow-off valve when to open under vacuum. So they sell different types of these, and in this particular kit it comes with two of them. One is a harder spring, which is this one, which I believe is 15 to 21 psi rated, and then there's a smaller or less tensile spring that is yellow. Notice this one's kind of blue on the top painted. The other one is yellow, and that one's rated at, I believe, 7 to 15 psi, which would be ideal for something that's more on a stock or a smaller, mild tune. But in my case, I'm only running stage 1 new speed tune on it, so I need to order a different spring because I don't think this one will allow it to open up when it's supposed to. So when I was looking at it and purchasing it from this person, I already anticipated on spending additional money. So I told him that, and he essentially lowered the price because of that. Double check to make sure whatever you're buying, that everything is in the kit, because otherwise you're going to be stuck with something that might not fit your application. Make sure you go through it and disassemble it, because this is one of the reasons why I can't use this, even if I did have a higher boost application on my current vehicle. Like I said, this is for a 2015 GTI, but as you can see, this O-ring is broken, and it's supposed to go and seal this on top. And as you can see, it's going to be broken, so it's going to leak. Also inside, if you push the piston out, which is basically right here, this is the piston. It seals basically this seated part right here, and inside it has two O-rings as well, one on top and one on the bottom right here. Those do go bad too eventually, and Usually the manufacturer will sell that kind of rebuild kit. This car, if it's truly only at 3,000 miles, he really beat on it. So this one has to get rebuilt already, which is not so big of a deal. Just buying new O-rings, re-lube it, and then put it back in. But you want to make sure that you are not spending more money than buying a brand new one, because otherwise you could be buying a brand new one. So that's a couple suggestions. I'm going to try to do a few more videos of what to expect on certain applications. This was just one of the things that I was going over, especially since I had just purchased this. It was kind of ideal to help people look for what they're expecting out of their parts, and most of them are going to be the same. You know, they do pretty much the same thing. They're just designed differently. Just inspect what you get. You know, take your time. You are spending your own money to you know, get the product that you absolutely want, and make sure it functions properly, because otherwise you're just putting crap on what essentially could mess up your vehicle. So if you were to actually end up getting one of these, for instance, and the spring was too stiff, then your blow-off valve will essentially not open, and your turbo will basically be spinning backwards because of the pressure is trying to release, and it can't. So it could actually break the shaft of your turbo, and you'd be having pretty epic turbo failure. Essentially could be throwing it back into shavings back into the motor, because the oil gets basically cycled through the turbo. So it could be sending shavings into your motor, and that's all bad. So yeah, that's it may seem like a small thing and something that may not be so detrimental, but these things actually matter. So pay attention to what you're purchasing, and there's a lot of information out on the internet you should be able to find, but I figured I'd make this video because I don't think I've seen one yet. Of how to inspect your blow-off valves and bypass valves. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions to help other people, comment below. Also, subscribe, because there's going to be more stuff like this as I keep building the GTI, and there's also a Dodge Viper that I'm working on, and we'll be doing some cool stuff to that too, so you get to keep in tune with that. Other than that, till next time, signing out.